Hello and welcome to the Scarf Bergara War, the podcast and live stream for county fans by county fans with me, Nick Lee, and Russ Johnson. Hello, Russ.
Hello, mate. You okay?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Always happy for people to come and get involved in the show, as we'll see tonight. If you do want to get involved, just get in touch. Just as long as you don't need to see your kids at any point. As long as you live within a mile of the county arms. As long as you're not Ben from Hazel Grove, as long as you've not got your Chesterfield refund. And of course, if you are a woman, don't go bleeding all over everything, please. Because we're in the 21st century here at the Scarf Bergara War, aren't we, Russ?
We are indeed, mate. That was ridiculous, that one. I'm sure we'll talk about that later.
Absolute scenes, mate. Absolute scenes. It's a bit clammy again, isn't it? I've had like a thin glaze all week.
All week?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, with the heat,
yeah. Yeah.
I'm thinking I might start like eating loads of honey, because who doesn't love a refreshing spoonful of honey on a summer's day? If I eat loads of honey, then I might come out as like honey glazed, and then you can like feed me to Scarlett Johansson.
Be nice bit of crackling on the outside that as well.
Oh, I'd make a lovely crackling. I think you'd have to pick the hairs out though, like the really bad pork scratchings in a pub.
Just need to figure out how to spit roast you.
It's too early for that, mate. It's only 7 o'clock. Pre-watershed again. Get the what and who have we got coming out, mate?
We've got lots of analysis for Boreham Wood because one of our guests went, so we're gonna bring him on. Boreham Wood, drab 0-0, but we'll talk about it. We'll look forward to Yeovil on Saturday with another guest we've got coming on. Obviously, Maidenhead and Halifax. We'll have a chat about the rumour mill. There's always a rumour mill. Oh, yeah. And just general chit chat. So let's get our first guest on. You all know him as Brett Angel's left bollock
because he's a grown man.
Well, he's not actually. I know we'll see, yeah. He's really, really tiny, but we'll welcome him on anyway. It's Ryan Harwood. Hiya, mate.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, here he is. Hold on to your hats.
Yeah, I've been dreading this all day.
Have you?
It's
the most famous county fan we've had on the show, I think, in the 6-7 years we've been running, Nick, I think.
Yeah, apart from us, obviously.
Apart from you.
Well, I think I'd include us. Mike Flynn didn't play for the club and he was a county fan, but I think you top him, Brian.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Maybe on Twitter.
So we'll talk to you throughout the show. You're here for the duration, Ryan. Firstly, though, I wanted just to bring somebody on to talk about the Yeovil match on Saturday. So I'm delighted that we've got Dave Coates from the Gloverscast podcast in Yeovil. Hi, mate.
Good evening, all. How are we?
Not bad. How are you?
It's not often I've been to the left of a left bollock before, I have to say. So that's a first for me.
On the right bollock,
yeah. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having us on.
No problem. Did you like the transitions? It's all running too smoothly, if you ask me. But you know.
I've never been live. Our podcast is more like a radio show, but I've tried to set up some kind of a backdrop for you, but found an old beach towel and a couple of shirts. I'm not really a shirt wearer at matches, you see, so I've just tried to dress it up with something green and white in the background.
It's looking good. Okay, so match on Saturday. How's it been going at Yeovil? How's your season started? Talk us through it.
Well, started very poorly because we didn't play the first game. We were supposed to be going to Wrexham, which is probably a blessing in disguise because we had COVID, or the team had COVID. There were about 6 or 7 players that had it. So that game got cancelled, which I think was probably a blessing because it probably saved us from a bit of a spanking by the big spenders. I know I'm in company there, but I'm not getting paid for this, by the way. No one's offered me anything, so it's all for free.
Join the club.
So we ended up playing Kings Lynn at home, which you would think would be a great way to start the season, but we actually lost that game. Had a player sent off for, in the manager's word, being an absolute clown. I probably wouldn't be quite that polite about it, but so had a player sent off, who Matt Worthington, who'll be missing on Saturday as well. And then we seemed to turn it around. Won a game at Aldershot of all places on Bank Holiday Monday, and then won on the telly, which we hadn't actually won on the telly since we got promoted to the Championship in May of 2013. But we beat FC Halifax at the weekend. So it started terribly. It's slowly turning around, but we do keep reminding ourselves we've only played Kings Lynn, Aldershot, and Halifax. Halifax is probably the best side that we played, but I have a feeling we might be up against a better side this weekend.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like an easy start, doesn't it? But still, you've still got the points on the board, and you're probably going into Saturday's match confident. I would guess. Is that a fair assumption? Yeah,
we're still light on numbers. We've still got like probably 17, 18 in the squad. A couple of our marquee signings, free transfers that we picked up from injured players are out, surprisingly injured. So we've got a striker missing. We've got a right back who was our marquee signing missing. He had a lad called Mark Little, his name was. He played at Bolton, which is kind of your neck of the woods, isn't it? So, and he played at Bristol Rovers, Bristol City down our way as well. So, we are a bit light on numbers. We've obviously got a Quigley up front who's got 3 goals, which 3 more than the other Quigley's got. But
I bet he's played about 3 more games than the other Quigley.
He probably has. Yeah. What's it? 25 minutes he's played. Yeah, your Quigley. Yeah. So, I mean, we're doing all right, but we don't kid ourselves. I mean, I don't think in this division we're expecting anything this year. We're bang mid-table is probably about where we deserve to be and where we probably will be. But there's always one, isn't there? Because it was Barrow a couple of years ago, Sutton the year after that. Not saying it's going to be us. Please don't quote me saying that. But, with you guys, with Chesterfield, Dagenham have obviously started, all right. Wrexham, obviously, there's some serious competition going on in this division, isn't it? So, yeah.
It's widely known, isn't it, that the favourites don't win this division.
Are you the favourites or Wrexham the favourites?
Well, yeah, it's moved around. I mean, we have been for a bit, and then it's Wrexham and things. So I listened to your podcast on when you think you recorded it Sunday.
Sunday and it comes out Monday. Yep. Yeah,
so I listened to that on Sunday, and I must admit, it sounded like you were getting ahead of yourselves a bit. You sounded really, really confident.
Well, I've got to say that so me and my co-host Ian, we are the voices of realism on this. And then there's a lad called Ben who is enthusiastic at the best of times. We could get battered 5-0 and he'd go, but it could have been 6, couldn't it? So, Ben was one of them. Yeah. Tidal wave of enthusiasm, I described him as. But yeah, so I wouldn't take that as what everybody's thinking, but we all love Ben. You got to have a bit of optimism in the.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. No, I enjoyed listening to it. It was really good. Expectations for Saturday then? How do you reckon you're going to fare? Given the discussion we had earlier in the week about us keeping the ball, we've got all these really fantastic players that aren't scoring. What do you expect for Saturday?
Well, you've set it up now, haven't you? Because I can see a Madden hat-trick coming along, and then he'll celebrate in front of the away fans, and then you'll literally hear my heart break if he does that. So, yeah, everyone loves Paddy at Yeovil. It left, 2014, and now still, it'll get a brilliant reception from what will probably be a couple of 100 away fans, to be honest with you. There's stuff going on off the pitch at our place at the moment that probably limit our numbers a bit. But yeah, I mean, we have been told this season that the way we're going to play is to try and soak up pressure. You keep the ball a lot. We haven't seen a lot of the ball in the first 3 games that we played. So I'm not expecting a spectacular one, but I've told Russ gave me a tip to get all of our lads, all of our fans, all 200 of them, behind the team, and then hope that the natives get restless at Edgeley Park and start turning on the manager. So that's it. That's all I've got.
Oh, Russ, you bitch.
Is he wrong?
Am I wrong, Nick?
It's got 0-0 written all over it.
Well,
You
yeah,
just said you want to soak up pressure. Yeah, 0-0.
Yeah.
I
If we
would
get-
take a 0-0 here and now. I'll take that. Yeah.
If it gets to 60 minutes and we haven't scored, the natives will get restless.
Yeah, because we won't be making any changes. We'll be just going plodding on with the same system.
It's like the substitute button on Football Manager's broken, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't press it. My mouse is broken.
Yeah.
You answered one of my questions there. How many do you think you'll bring? Because you said what did you say, about a couple of hundred?
Yeah, a couple of hundred, I would think. Like we spoke earlier in the week, didn't we, Ross? And I was saying there's stuff going on off the pitch at the moment. We've taken out an 800 grand loan from Sport England. We've got a chairman who came in season before last, promised lots, delivered little. I mean, this sounds familiar to a Stockport fan, I imagine. Yeah, you're not unfamiliar with the world of debt, I would have thought. So
Nope,
not now, but I know in the past. So there's a bit of upset about what's going on. Lots of talks about possibly people taking over. Nobody quite knows what's going on because the club won't tell us. There's a bit of upset. But we would normally travel in, to a game like this, maybe like 200 or 300. I'd have thought. I mean, it's not a big place, Yeovil, and I mean, I'll confess, I don't live in Yeovil. I live in Lancashire, so I'm actually further north than you guys are. But it's a good 4.5, 5 hours on a coach to Greater Manchester, and there's quite a small population in Yeovil, so we don't quite have the resources in terms of fans that you guys can draw from. But you got a lot more competition around where you are, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. And I know your match on Saturday, the Halifax match, there was less than 2,000 there as well.
That's right. 56 from Halifax there was. And thank you to every one of them. Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, and that probably talks more to what people are thinking about off the pitch, because I know there's a lot of people who didn't go because of that. Then you've got people still on holiday and people still a bit worried about the COVID and that kind of thing. So there's lots of reasons, excuses, whatever you want. But yeah, less than 2,000 for a club that in 2014 were in the Championship. Not great, is it?
No. And let's hope if it is raining, they put you under the covers as well.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, otherwise I'll bring an umbrella with me, but I'll be checking the Met Office certainly. Yeah. I can't see us being behind that goal. I think you'll stick us on the. You said on the end of the stand, wasn't it?
Yeah, yes.
I reckon
End
we'll
of
be under
the
that.
family stand. Bring some sunglasses though, won't you? Even if it's raining. Yeah. Because our new big screen. Yeah, it'll.
Right. Okay.
Burn the rest of us up. Yeah.
You're not epileptic, are you?
No, not yet. I might be by the end of it. Yeah. Well, I have a memory of my last trip, so I think I'm right in saying we've only ever won once at your place, which was 2010. And I don't know what you were doing back then, but I do remember going to your place. And I think we won. I want to say 3-0, might have been 3-1. But I remember there was a guy who nobody knew from the away fans who was sat there, and he had a pair of binoculars. And I thought, well, maybe, can't see but he was sat pretty close to the pitch. But he was watching planes. You see planes coming in from the airport, and he was watching planes sat in the away. So we were grateful that he made it look like we had a few more fans. But we ended up in the second half bringing him up and sitting with us, so we got a bit of a better view of the planes as well. So yeah, if he's there again, he can bump up the numbers a bit, maybe 201 instead.
Yeah. And if the game does fail to entertain, you've always got the planes to fall
Exactly. Back on. Yeah. I'll bring me spotter and my thermos instead. Yeah.
Good stuff. Right. Thank you very much for coming on. Thanks for your time.
It's a pleasure. Yeah. I'd wish you all the best for the weekend, but I wouldn't mean it. But I'll see you there on Saturday. And if you do go 1-0 up quickly, just be nice to us, won't you? Don't get too harsh.
Well, we don't know about that.
No,
we're not even sure we'll score.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'll hold you to that.
Hold us to that. Yeah. All right.
Nice
all
one.
Right.
Thanks,
cheers,
fellas.
Dave. See you later. Bye now. He left a bit too quick for me then before I could put the subscribe. It's like, it's gone. So there we go. So yeah, what did you make of that, Ryan? What did you make of
Actual
that?
guest and everything, wasn't it?
I know, yeah.
We've got to win, haven't we, Saturday? I think even I'll panic if we don't win on Saturday. I mean, I'm not the most positive person ever, but we need to win on Saturday. We need to look good as well, I think.
Right, so pressure's on.
That's the thing for me. The looking good. It's not normally something that bothers me, like the style of football and what have you, as long as we're winning. But I think with the investment and the expectation level kind of cranking up a notch, you are expecting. And Stott said the same at the fans forum as well. He wants to be entertained. Who doesn't want to be entertained?
No, but I think
people watching this.
Well, yeah. If you've got to win football matches first, haven't you? And you've got to get that cohesion before you can start playing sexy football. I mean, come on, we need to put the ball in the back of the net first.
Yeah.
So just before we get into it properly, everybody, you can comment. We've got loads of comments through already. A lot of them we can't show, unfortunately. Do comment, like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Loads of people saying they're only here for Left Bollock, which is quite nice. Might get you on every week then, Ryan. How about that? Yeah.
Get with
Just before we do get into it, though, your headphones working okay? Because we are getting a bit of feedback.
Yeah, I think so, mate. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, me all right.
Yeah. It's whether we're getting that feedback. Okay, let's crack on. See how we get on. Okay, Boreham Wood then on Saturday.
Before we get on to Boreham Wood, Russ, you didn't comment on my choice of button. I only went for the one button because I was worried you'd say something if I had two undone.
Well, I normally expect them all to be buttoned up, but
Yeah, but it's hot, innit?
Yeah. I didn't really register to be quite honest, mate.
Should I do another one?
No.
Because if you've done two, you might as well do three. And if you do three, we might as well just start like the least necessary OnlyFans ever. Make some money out of this. Right, Boreham Wood, Russ, go on. Sorry, mate.
Boreham Wood, which it's ironically named, isn't it? Based on what happened on Saturday.
Boreham Rigid, more like.
Yeah. Ryan, you went. Do you want to tell us about it? It might be quick, this, but go on.
Brilliant day. Just the 90 minutes of football was just horrendous. Just nothing. I think Jordan Keane at the post. I think that was about it. I think that was the main highlight. 30-yard knob. And it just come back off the post. It was it.
I mean, I've not even seen it. Was it back off the inside of the post, back at him, or was it
come back off the post and Paddy Madden put it over the bar, but it come at him really fast.
Yeah. He had no chance. Like, if it had been Alex Reid, though, obviously that'd be a different matter.
Yeah, he would put that further over the bar.
Whoa, shots fired again.
Horrendous atmosphere, horrendous game. It's just the away fans, there was no roof on the stand, so you couldn't get any noise going. It was just terrible.
But they sounded good on the radio. They sounded in good voice on the radio coverage. But I dozed off at half time. And then I woke up when Jordan Keane hit the post. Because obviously John Kieran's voice went up an octave.
Yeah.
So that awoke me from my slumber.
Right. I was going to say, is that kind of wake up, was it? Oh, what's happening?
Yeah, not knowing where you are, what time it is, and why John Kieran's shouting at me.
But yeah, there must be more to talk about. I know we swapped two shots. There must be more to talk about it. What about if we're not
the bar as well? Yeah, it was a header. It sort of deflected, and it was a good save in the end. But it's just across the back three, just constantly get to the halfway line. They go back. It's like once they get to the halfway line, they don't know where to go. It's like they run out of ideas, or no one wants to take responsibility to do something productive.
Yeah, it seems stifled almost. It's weird, yeah.
They'll play it back and they'll go the same way again. They'll go across the back three, and they'll go back three, back to Hinchcliffe. And eventually Jordan Keane will knob it to Whitfield, smallest player, for an header.
So, all right, let's unpick it then. What do you think needs to happen? What's going to put a solution to this?
I don't know whether it's the back three that's not working with the wing backs, or I like 4-4-2 myself. It was good enough for Dave Jones in 96, 97. It's good enough for me now. But there's just no razzmatazz, like Nick said, with the investment. It's just missing something at the minute. We just don't look. We're solid. We don't look like conceding, but we just don't look like scoring either. I think Quigley is a massive miss for us. I think if we had him these 4 games, I think we probably would have won 3 of them. He looked good in the 10 minutes against Southend. He was putting himself about in the box, and just unfortunate. So,
do you think?
Well,
we'll talk about the day in a minute, because I do want to talk about the non-footballing aspects, I guess, because. But if we had Quigley in the game, though, if we had Quigley, I mean, obviously he's not scored for us yet. He's not done anything for us yet, apart from 1 sprint. When you say we probably would have won those matches, do you mean like what, by 1s and 2, by the odd goal, or what?
I think he's just a presence, isn't he, up front. I'm not sold on Reid as a starter. I think he's all right off the bench. He's just not. I think them chances, if it would have fell to Madden or Quigley, that fell to Reid against was it Grimsby?
Grimsby, yeah.
Probably would have put them in. I don't know. I think Dagenham looked good, didn't he? He looked fluid, and we just so structured at the minute.
Yeah, I expected us. I expected us to look how Dagenham looked.
Yeah. That was the biggest gutter that I've had in years. That first game, it killed me all week. It literally killed me all week, because I was expecting so much. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. We spoke about that a couple of weeks ago, didn't we, Nick? That for me, that was the biggest letdown since Huddersfield at home, when we had Feeney and Beckett and Lambert and them players.
Do you not think that was a letdown? The first, was it Neil Young's first game? Was it Neil Young, or was it Ian Bogey's first home game in the National North, when we got battered at home to Boston, didn't we? 4-1 on the first day.
Oh yeah, that was the one I had to leave because my lad was playing up. Yeah. Oh yeah,
he knew.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, circumstances are massively different, aren't they? Because with that one, I mean, you've got Ian Bogey in charge straight away, and you're in the National League North. At that level, I hope I'm like a lot of people, where I was just expecting to win every match because we were Stockport County.
Yeah,
and the fact that the owners were going for the Salisbury City model. I just like, well, I'm just going to go to the match. We've got to win this. We must win this. We are going to win this because we're Stockport County. Never, obviously, didn't play out like that, but yeah, it didn't really. Just sort of passed me by a bit, that. So this season really, like Ryan said, really got on my tits. Proper letdown.
Just expectation, innit? That's what it comes down to. That's all it is.
Yeah, so I did actually watch the highlights back of the Grimsby match, and the 2 for Reid. He had 3 good chances, didn't he? One, the one at the near post, the front post. Obviously, he got taken out by the defenders. That's fair enough. But the other 2, I think you're right. If that's Paddy Madden or if that's Quigley, they're in them. They're in those 2, aren't they?
Yeah, I would say so.
So obviously the rumour mill's in overdrive, and it looks like there could be a familiar striker coming in this week.
That's what the rumour mill says, doesn't it?
Yeah. We've used that phrase rumour mill about 3 times tonight now. It's starting to not sound like a phrase anymore.
It's going to start losing its meaning. Yeah. What do you know, Ryan? You're quite up on rumours, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're talking about Harry Cardwell, aren't you? Is he good enough? Really? Is he a stopgap?
I thought last season, he lost interest once it's clear we weren't signing him. I thought last season, but I don't think he's going to be the striker to fire us to promotion and then be in the side next season in League Two. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, I think he's good looking enough.
He looks good, doesn't he? Yeah,
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Did you see what Ben McKenna tweeted over the weekend when Cardwell scored?
Island.
Yeah,
Get
yourself on Love Island, mate. But yeah, I think I agree. I don't think he's good enough, but he probably is good enough just to be a stopgap for a month or a couple of months.
Until Quigley comes back. Definitely.
Yeah. But then all the eggs are in the basket with Quigley, then, aren't they?
I'd say there's more expectation on Mark Kitchen coming back than Quigley. I feel sort of sorry for him. Everyone seems to think, you're not playing football in that long, then he's not going to be the same, is he, for quite a while?
In that respect, for me, it feels a lot like the Neil Young season, where from like July onwards, it was like, oh, when Micah Evans is back, we'll be all right. When Baggy's back, we'll be all right. Then it was, oh, well, when Glenn Rule's back from his 10-year ban for being a humongous moron, like when he's back, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. And it just that's what's just in the back of my head at the moment. Keeps nagging at me.
I think he's due for a sub appearance at some point, isn't he? I'm
Yeah,
hoping that's on Saturday.
He's travelling with a squad now and everything. He's been full training for a while. He's travelling, but I think there's an element of not wanting to rush him back. I'm not saying that's what's happened with Quigley, but you know, you star striker, your summer signing, you're going to want to play him as soon as possible. Maybe
I think he was rushed back at Southend quickly. I think far too soon came back.
Especially when he's had a history of hamstring injuries as well. It's not his first one. He's had a couple of others as well. So you think would be a bit more careful. So I'm hoping we're doing that with Kitchen, hopefully.
Yeah.
But it does worry me that with the squad, the depth we've talked about, and we are very dependent on hoping like one particular player comes back.
Well, that's it. That for me is not likely to unlock this fluid, exciting style of football, is it? I think personally what we need. Well, I don't know about in the final third, but we just need to beat somebody. It's almost like the confidence has gone somewhere, and I'm not quite sure where. Because we've only added quality to what we had last season, and we went 18 unbeaten. Okay, we lost to Hartlepool at the end, and in a lot of those 18, we had draws, didn't we? But something just needs to click, and I just can't put my finger on it.
No, I'm like that.
But you're not paid the big money to put your finger on it. Let's hope the people that are can.
Yes. Yes.
I desperately don't want it to go all tits up and have another change of manager. I don't want to be.
No, you turn into Salford, aren't you? I don't want to. Yeah. I want it to work this time.
Yeah, I just don't want to go down that road. And then, get to Christmas and decide to make a change. Then you're basically writing off. Another season, and it's going to get silly.
Yeah, unless you get lucky in the second half of that season. And you do, and the manager is right, and
everything aligns.
Yeah. As we spoke about with the last change of manager, at the time you didn't know whether it was going to work, fall flat on his face, or it'd be absolutely brilliant. It's been, a bit, hasn't it?
Well, if you look back on that 18 match run, now you kind of there's this nagging thing where you look at how many of them were teams that had written the season off, and we're playing the kids or whatever. I think there's another, but still, I still think we were decent. You can't take that away. I'm not trying to denigrate what the side did and everything, but there's I think that would have helped.
For the whole season, we didn't beat anybody in the top 5. So you can't demand promotion if you're not beating the teams that are in the top 5.
And on that top 5, well, we're on that. Of the teams we've played so far this season, the only one I see being top 5 or even top 7 is Dagenham. I don't think any of the others will be, regardless of where Boreham Wood were when we played them at weekend. I don't think they'll be up there. And we said at the start of the season we didn't think Grimsby or Southend would be either.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, how good were Boreham Wood?
They weren't that good at all, really, to be honest. They never looked like really scoring. No, I don't know, if they're missing that Shimanga.
Yeah.
But no, they didn't look anything special. We had most of the ball. We just didn't really do anything with it.
Because even when they had Shimanga, they were a team that could mix it up a bit. They kept you guessing. They weren't just relying. It wasn't like everything went through him.
Yeah,
so,
I think...
It's strange now, yeah.
South Wales had a lot of the ball, but I think their fullback had the measure of him because he was very fast himself. I think if you put a fast fullback on South Wales, it sort of nullifies him a lot because his crossing isn't great if he hits an early ball in. If you can match him for pace, and I think he knew it as well because he didn't really try and go round him. But yeah,
it's a strange one, isn't it? I don't know because Boreham Wood were 3 out of 3 without conceding. So that's, however you look at it, that's a good start. I mean, I'm not really sure who they played in there. and we're not at that point of the season where, as happens in the National League, everyone's given up and they've all gone on holiday and things, and clubs are folding and shit. So that's something to count for. I think Southend and Grimsby are going to do all right, and I think we've done well against them, especially Southend, considering their result against Wrexham as well. Yeah. And they were 2-0 up against Wrexham, I think, weren't they, on the weekend? So I don't think it's too shabby. I'm trying to stay positive, and honestly, every week it's ebbing away.
Well, if you've seen Chernobyl, you'll know it's not great, not terrible. That's how I sum it up so far.
Yeah.
But like we do need that win needs to come really, really soon.
It really,
like I said, people will start to get restless.
Well, they already are. I mean,
they already are.
Again, some of the reactions that I've seen on social media after 0-0, I promised myself after full time on Saturday, I'm just going to turn my phone off and then I'm going to go and get a beer in that. Yeah. And I just ended up looking at my phone every now and again.
I don't go on Twitter when County don't win. I don't go on.
It's a nightmare, isn't it? It's an absolute nightmare.
It depresses me. In the yellow board. It's horrendous. Something's like depressing me. But it's been totally underwhelming though so far. You know, they need to, as you say, they need a win, but they need to start looking good because the players are there.
I do think for all the talk of the fans getting restless, it's not translated to in the ground. I don't think.
No,
I don't think there's been that sense. Even like the last home game that was fairly uninspiring, we were still getting behind the team, even late on.
Yeah.
There didn't seem to be any rush from the team to like get a late goal or anything, but we got behind them.
Yeah, the support was tremendous against Grimsby. I thought myself, I thought it was brilliant.
For 90 minutes, it felt like a league game because I didn't manage to get a chance to say it last week, but I was genuinely entertained by that game. As much as I didn't enjoy aspects of our performance, I thought that was a decent game for the neutral. I added to the atmosphere as well. Yeah.
It was a decent game. It was good quality. The quality of the game was good.
I didn't feel shortchanged when I paid me 18 quid. You know, often you'll think that wasn't worth 18 quid, but I was like, that was worth 18. That was more worth 18 quid than the bloody Dagenham game was.
Yeah. And with the Grimsby game, I mean, we've sort of naturally fallen into this, haven't we? Because we didn't go to Boreham Wood and it was 0-0. But I genuinely believe we could have beat them. You know, given the chances, they didn't have a shot on or off target. Correct? Yeah.
I think there's a case to say that we would have won every game. We could have won every game apart from the Dagenham one. I think we definitely had chances to win every single one.
Yeah. And this is why I'm trying to stay positive with it. I just think something's coming. It's got to click at some point. With the, I don't think you can spend that much money and get that much quality in, and for it not to at least half work. And I think if it half works, then we're going to beat teams.
But was last season it half working?
Probably, I think so. Yeah, half to two thirds working. And that final third of it not working is the teams that in the top 5. You get that right, and you win the division. That's...
I think for the whole of last season, it was half. I think you know what I mean. I think that was sum up the whole of last season. It's just taking that extra step now.
I think it's got to work. I think Simon Rusk has got a level of protection because who they sacked before him, that the board and the club, they need it to work. Can you imagine if they sack Simon Rusk and what would come down on them after letting Jim Gannon go?
Yeah,
has to be really.
I'd not really thought of it that way before, but I think you're spot on. Yeah, they have got a level of protection and this is their man now. They've handpicked him, haven't they?
Yep.
From all the candidates that applied, all the ones that didn't have kids.
Yeah. And went through what was definitely a rigorous and thorough interview process.
Yeah.
With many candidates.
He didn't want a work-life balance.
Yeah. He don't want to see his kids, he hates them.
Yeah.
Do you hate your children? Come and work for us.
So yeah, I think you're right.
The Queen can go and work for Fylde, can't she?
Yeah.
I don't think she wants to be picking her kids up at half 3, does she?
Well, no, she's a woman, isn't she? I suppose
Well,
it didn't say you couldn't be a woman, did it? But
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
Yeah, you can be a woman, but just don't be feminine about it. Don't be obvious about it. Yeah, you can be a woman, just don't push it in our faces. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Boreham Wood match. Tell us about Boreham Wood because I've never been. What's it like as a ground?
To be honest with you, I went and I'd actually spent 7 nights there a couple of weeks before because we went down. I got married and we went down to Harry Potter for a second time and we actually stayed in Boreham Wood.
Right.
And there's nothing there to be honest. But
so I went to Harry Potter and I stayed at Watford Travel Lodge. So swings and roundabouts.
I think.
I think we had like similar. Yeah, we've had similar experiences there. I thought my travel lodge was the type of place that terrorists would go. You know, when they hear of like a terror attack and they say, "Oh, they were staying at this." We've got CCTV of them staying at a travel lodge in Watford. It was that type of place. Crack on, mate. Boreham Wood, go on.
Yeah, no, there's not there. The ground's tiny. There's I think they lied about the attendance. To be honest, I think there was over 1,000 there. You know, the people were paying cash on the door and that, and they said, "Oh, it was 700." There must have been 450 county fans there, easy, 450. You know, and back pocket in a bit, I think. But no, but I just want to get subject to John Rooney. I wish he'd stop goading opposition fans when he scores. Because, you know, when they like knob one in our end, they don't go running over to John Rooney, do they? I mean, that Dagenham player, I was fuming. You know, when I think Rooney did it to us, didn't he, for Barrow? Yeah. When he scored a free kick in that end. And I knew I was speaking, but I did the words that were coming out. It was like the Tasmanian devil. It's just thinking, stop doing it. You know what I mean? There's just no need.
2 words, though. Danny Lloyd. Come on.
Oh, yeah, he used to do it, didn't he?
It's great. I don't mind it, me. I like it.
I don't mind him doing it, but it's when we get it, I can't take it.
You can give it, but can't take it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I like it as well. We spoke about this, haven't we? About shit hours. Yeah, I'm all for it. Definitely, yeah. But it is shit when it happens to us. But do you remember when File did it to us? And I think there's a picture.
Alex Reid.
Alex Reid, yeah. And there was it 2 others that have signed since.
Danny Rowe was in there, I think, and Croasdale, yeah.
That's it.
Bastards.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Remember Sean McConville doing it for Chester in the Cup?
Oh, no. Was that 4-2?
Yeah, that was the one that angered me the most, I think. That really pissed me off, yeah.
He was just a waste of money, wasn't he? Sean McConville.
I just, one of them faces you want to slap.
Yeah.
I liked him.
He didn't like you, Russ, because I saw what he did when he scored. Definitely don't like you.
Oh, what did he do when he scored?
He gave it out to Cheeland, didn't he? That was directed at you, that was.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about what you make of John Rooney, Ryan? Because there's a lot of I get the sense that some people are happy with him, some people aren't.
Yeah, I mean, I've got mates who wouldn't want him in the team and say he slows us down. You know what I mean? He's a quality player, isn't he? Whether he I don't honestly know. I'd have him in.
No, say what you think, Ryan. That's what you're here for. Come on. Everybody's here to listen to what Left Bollock's got to say.
The world is waiting.
I'd have him. I think he's the best player at this level. You know what I mean? I think he does slow us down a little bit. And I think I seen a comment on Twitter the other day that we've got the best wingers in the division and we don't play wingers.
Mm.
You know, I'd love Tom Walker giving a go in his position, you know, pre-filed, attacking mid. I'd love that. I'd love Tom Walker giving a go. Elliot Newby, for me, him and Walker are probably the only 2 players that get you off your seat. Everything's so pedestrian and sideways. Just, you know, he's just like Newby's just one of them players. He gets the ball and he's looking to do something with it, go forward or...
I think we might do a sweepstake for this week's game on what position Ben Whitfield's going to play.
He's been everywhere, hasn't he?
Because it's not going to be his position. Let's put it that way. Must be something in his contract. It's got to be.
He's another way. He looks great in flashes. He did a good run at Boreham Wood on Saturday. You know what I mean? But
just think if he's played in his right position and we had a bit of pace about us on the flanks, I think he'd be a massive. I mean, he's best winger in the league. That's what everyone's been saying. So
I mean, which wing? I'm confused. What wing is he the best
He
winger?
said either in his interview. He said he can play either.
Yeah. Play on the left, cutting inside, or on the right, like going down to the byline and putting crosses in.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan Rydell on Saturday got into some great positions at the end to whip balls in. It was so frustrating, just putting it into the stand. You know,
Yeah,
it was last of the game. I think he did that.
There's no excuse for that, is there? Fucking hell, a week across the ball. I mean, I'm you know, I don't really know why that happens so much. I think I saw a tweet of a stat that we've crossed the most balls into the box or something like that. What good is it?
Don't remember any of them.
When Paddy Badden's playing CDM,
Yeah.
what good is, and you know, and he's about 5'6" anyway, or whatever he is.
Alex Reid isn't going to put his head on anything, is he?
No,
You know what I mean?
no, not unless it's like a reactionary thing inside the box. You know, he's not going to go full. He's not going to go full Ricky Lambert, is he? And take everybody out with him. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm starting to think now. I want to see that. I want to see 4 at the back and play wingers.
Yeah, I don't think it's working.
If Kitchen's not back, which he's not going to be back for Saturday, you know, start with 4 at the back, and I want to see either 3 in midfield or 4 with wingers, whatever. You know, I don't know.
Well, the talk we mentioned the rumour mill before with Cardwell. Well, also been talk about Zeki Friars. Used to be at United and Tottenham, and he was at Walsall. So he's a left-sided defender, left-footed, can play. I'd imagine wing back or centre back. I'd hope centre back is more pressing because we need a left footer in there. Unless we are going to go to, if we're going to go to 4 at the back, then Palmer and Barkley for me. So
yeah. That's a good point. Actually, we've not even mentioned Hogan, have we? Hogan's fit. Well, no, I don't. Well, he's fit anyway, isn't he? But his wife is due to go into labour, or she already has, or something.
She had false labour or something, which is called Braxton Hicks. If everyone's seen that episode of Friends, that's the one thing I know about childbirth, and it's from an episode of Friends.
Yeah, I didn't. It wasn't Friends that I got it from. It was Having Children that I heard that from.
That'll be Well, you live in the real world and stuff. Like, you've got hopes and dreams and a family. I've just got this. But
anything else
on Hogan? If we're going to go 4 at the back, I'd stick him at right back.
Yeah,
definitely. If we're not going to be seeing Minham for a while, then you can have Salvin Hales on the right flank, in Whitfield, Newby, Walker on the left. Anyone? That's what I'd do.
Yeah, Simon. He's played it right back for us before, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's filled in there. Yeah, and he's decent going forward. He likes to carry the ball forward, so he thinks it'll be spot on.
Yeah. I'm not his biggest fan, and bit thingy to slag him off on here, to be honest, because he's a bit of a beast, isn't he? But
he's not going to come round your house. Don't worry.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd just prefer Ash Palmer, Barkley myself, but I'd have him at right back. Definitely wouldn't have him in the centre.
Poor Phil Wish. No one's mentioned him. He's off gallivanting with England under 21s, isn't he?
Under 19s, but I think he's back this weekend, is he not?
Yeah.
90 minutes with us, and he goes off gallivanting. That's what they all do to us. They all leave you in the end. That's what your kids are going to do, mate. They're going to move out one day.
I'm fucking counting on it, mate.
You're going to turn the bedroom into another pub, aren't you? You're going to want your own chain.
Yeah. Anyone else we've missed? Is anyone you want to talk about, Ryan, that you may have heard us talk about on the pod, but wanted to get involved?
Anyone you want to slag off?
Bloody hell, how long have we got? No, just that I've been absolutely panicking about this all day, honestly, and I can't believe we're 5 minutes in here. Like I say, I got married the other week, and I just wasn't nervous at all. This, been like bloody hell. It's like I feel like I've bloody just won fastest finger first on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you know. But no, I think I don't know. Go on, you start the subject.
And now you're on the pod. What do you think? It's all right, isn't it?
It's all right once you're on. Waiting in the backstage, waiting to come on's a bit like nervy. But once you're in, you just forget about it. But
I predict it as well. I'm
Yeah.
still drinking it as well. Like,
I think it's something you get used to. Obviously, used to do it every week, you know. But I think, to be honest with you, I've had that many arguments on Twitter. I was a bit like, bloody hell, don't really want to go on. Should we take something?
I've been
Mrs.
there,
was
mate.
like, don't want to go on that. But no, it's good. Enjoyed it.
Okay, good. Well, it's not over yet. We've still got.
Yeah,
we don't
no,
have to stop. We don't have to stop
No,
on
you
the
carry
hour
on, mate.
either. Let's look at some comments. Ben Brown, does anyone know if Ben got married? Because I think you've mentioned it once or
I think
twice.
you're interested. I've always got room for you, Ben.
Am I right in thinking that's the Ben Brown that plays in the county academy or
He's
something?
in the academy, and he's a nice lad.
Yeah, nice one. Do you know what age or anything like that? Oh,
I think he's 17, I think.
nice.
Looking at his comments and stuff, he actually, I hate using this word, but he's actually got decent banter for a footballer. Because footballer banter is notoriously shit, isn't
He's in the county group chat on Twitter. He's one of the top ultras on that.
it? There's a county. Are you in that, Russ?
There's a county what? Sorry, what a county what?
There's a group chat. You know, you've heard about the group chat. Everyone knows about the group chat.
No, I'm not in the group chat.
No.
I knew
No.
about the group chat. I'm just not bothered. But I'm enjoying watching Russ, watching that flicker on his face of. Oh.
Well, no, it's not, because it's probably relief more than anything. Because having been on the yellow board and come off it, I did that. Pretty much did that Homer gif with the yellow board. Because there's a couple of interactions I had on that. I go on Facebook a tiny bit just to post Bergara war stuff, but yeah.
Too many group chats though, isn't there? I've got
It's an
like, loads
interesting
of
place.
messenger ones and loads of WhatsApp ones. It gets too much. I have to put my phone on do not disturb sometimes. Just want a bit of peace.
I thought it was a joke from your routine then coming. No?
No. People have been talking about you on Yellow Board as well, in your absence.
Have they?
Yeah.
What have they been saying?
Yeah.
Like I care. What?
Well, I won't tell you now then. If you're going to be like that.
I don't know. Okay.
God, let's see how long you can.
I'll message you later. Yeah, we came across another Russ Johnson, didn't we?
Tagged him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get him on. Maybe we'll get him on Yellow Board.
Yeah, you can have it. Yeah, he'll take my place. It's fine.
He seems. I say I don't want to say this, but I'm going to. He seems a bit of a knobhead, if you ask me.
Yeah. I said, which Russ Johnson's on the pod? And he went, not this Russ Johnson. I thought,
yeah. I was like, that was my fault, that, for typing too fast. I forgot that your middle name was Colin, Russ, because anything to do with Man City, straight out my head. So yeah. I blanked out the C.
Well, don't start with this, because you tweeted a Man United sympathy thing, didn't you, the other day? So the fact that you had Man United on our timeline, I'm not happy.
It was top banter though, wasn't it? As a kid,
it was shanter, as they say.
I thought it was good. I thought it was drawing attention to both the live stream and the podcast. There's some good advertising that, and it did not cost you a penny.
No, I mean, admittedly, that was okay, but it's just the fact that it had United on it. Who do you hate more, Ryan? United or City?
City.
Hey, not bad.
United global, I don't mind that. City just hog Stockport, don't they? It annoys me.
Yeah.
United what?
United are global, so I can understand that more. With City, it's just, especially when they sneer at County, I hate it.
United have gone past being a football club. United's like, it's like saying saying you hate United is like saying, I hate Marvel films. I hate Coca-Cola.
Oh, fuck right off.
Oh, speaking of Marvel films, I've finished all the Marvel films now, Russ. You'll be delighted to know.
Good.
Yeah. How am I wrong there? Go on.
Because it's that you just like highly offended me. But the reason why I hate United, honestly, it's because growing up, living in Brinny and going to Reddish Vale, because me and Ryan went to school together, by the way, if you didn't know.
Well, thank you.
It's just sitting in science with people like Addock. And he's fucking when United were good, and he'd be saying things like, "It's so fucking arrogant." Do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, we'll win at the weekend, yeah. Or my mate, remember Carl Morris?
Carl Morris, yeah.
Before they finish in the top four, he'd be saying in like, they're having a really bad season. He'd sit in the pub with me, and he'd be like in November going, "We'll finish in the top four, yeah." of course we will. It's like, yeah, but what are you basing it on? You're not basing it on anything. You're just basing it on because you're Man United. Yeah.
Picture like that now a little bit.
Well, they are, but I don't get subjected to it because I haven't got any City mates. I don't think.
City fans are just gimps as well.
Not proper.
That I wasn't. I'll be honest, when I was a kid, I preferred City to United. I'd always play as City on FIFA, as like the little underdog team and what have you. And then as soon as I got to like 18 and moved from Stockport to Manchester, and just like worked in pubs and shops and stuff, and people would say like, "Oh, who do you support?" I'd be like, "Oh, Stockport County." Like, "Oh," every time without fail. "Oh, I used to come down on a Friday night and help you out." Cheers. What do you want me to do? You want me to thank you? You know what I mean? And it just got too much, and then that elevated him above United.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I've come across City fans who have said that straight away, and I've just replied, and they've said, "Oh, well, we're not going to come and help you then if you're going to be like that." I was like, "Well, don't then. I'm not asked you to come to the fucking ground with me, have I?" So I have said that, and they do me head in. I have this process, right, where when I meet somebody and it's like pointless. They all start on 100 points. So if I say to them, "All right, mate, yeah, how's it going? Yeah, right. Do you like football?" No, I go, it's straight to 0. But 0 is bad in this, yeah. If they're at 100 points, like I met a guy the other day who was new at work, right? He's from Manchester, and I said to him, because he was talking about Ronaldo going to City, Man United, and not City. So I said to him, "Oh, I said, you must be red because of the way you were excited about that." He went, No, I'm not red." I went, "All right, then you're a City fan." He went, No, I'm not a City fan. Straight away, he's gone down to like 40 points, 30 points. Straight away. No, I've not told him. He's right. And then I said to him, "So who do you support?" And he went, "Barcelona." And he just went straight through the fucking floor.
Yeah, quite rightly, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. So it's, if I meet a United fan, it's, "Oh, you support United, right? Well, you're down to 50. Do you go to the matches?" "No." "Right, well, you're a knobhead, so down to 10. That kind of thing.
On the whole point system.
Yeah.
When I was younger and I went to the barbers and he sat me down and starts cutting and what have you, I'd say, "Oh, did you watch the match last night?" And then he'd be like, "No, I don't watch football." I'd be like, "Oh no, I've got to sit in silence for an hour now." But now I'm like 34. I don't want to be bothered while I'm having my haircut. I just want to sit there quietly. So when I do, I'm hoping they don't like football. I've started like going to like fancy salon places because I think I don't want to just generalize on certain sexualities that people might have, but I think in the places I'm starting to go, I might be less likely to encounter a football fan. Let's just say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Ryan? I mean, I know you said City, but surely growing up in Reddish, full of United fans, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it was still City then, to be honest, for me. I just find the arrogance towards counties, but worse when they're from Stockport.
Yeah.
That's what annoys me.
Yeah.
You know, United fans from Stockport, anyone from Stockport annoys me who support other clubs.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a club on your doorstep there that you should be proud of and support. I'm a big one, though, from where you're from, But not always, don't get me wrong, but City, just it wouldn't be as bad if it didn't sneer at County so much. I get a lot of that.
Yeah.
I mean, get the one where it's a proper team, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, they've got that going for them, haven't they? You don't get many City fans from outside. I mean, they've obviously Stockport, but from the area. Yeah. Well, they're just going to go global, aren't they? Like, you get Chelsea
like Man United now. We're no different to what they despised. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, but that's it. And United fans are no different to what they despised. They hated City, didn't they? All the money that they've got now. Oh, you fucking oil money. Well, they're winning everything. That's what you were like when you were winning everything.
Yeah.
I remember
United were all right until they got took over by the Glaziers. Then it was all, PLC, you leave yourself open to that.
And the thing at the moment, red and gold until they're sold. Well, until Ronaldo joins, you mean?
Yeah.
Is that not exciting? Come on,
hypocrites. Yeah, it's pretty good for the league. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty good for the league.
The best footballer of all time coming back to play over it, and he's still got it as well. I'm very excited.
Big Kev, he's Big Kev coming back.
Second greatest footballer of all time is back. I do love the whole thing because it's at 3:00 on Saturday, isn't it? So obviously they can't have it on Sky or BT. And all the media outlets are saying like, "Oh, people won't be able to watch it." It's like, no, that's cute.
Well, the fans will.
But people say, "No, oh, they won't be able to watch it on telly." It's like, yeah, well, there's dodgy streams that pretty much everyone knows how to, the fact that anyone's pretending, but it's opened up the debate again now about the 3 o'clock blackout.
Yeah.
I actually read a dreadful in the Football 365 mailbox. There was an email about it today. I might save it for next week. I'll post it on the Twitter next week, and we'll have a chat about it because it's the most tone deaf thing I've ever seen written about like lower leagues and non-league football. It's mental.
Weren't calling us grassroots, were they?
No, thank God, because that would have been the worst. But yeah, it's basically arguing for the extinction. We've got too many leagues. If these clubs in non-league can't keep themselves running, well, there's another game on telly. They shouldn't still be going. And it's like, yeah, you just don't get it, mate. You definitely don't get football at all.
But that's definitely the non-match going TV watching Man United fan. That's who they are, isn't it? And it's.
Well, I've only ever seen that attitude displayed in like a tweet where you've got 140 characters. I've never seen someone actually send an email to like a football media website, like going on for paragraphs about it. I've never seen it laid out like that, and just thought, oh, this is weird.
Yeah,
there's some weird people out there. Some
weird fuckers out there. Yeah, definitely. Filed top it, don't they? The file chairman tops it. Did you just a bit of as a side thing? Oldham Athletic, their fans did what ours did, and went and sat in the middle of the pitch. Power to the people. Yeah. I've been following it closely. Good mates with a couple of lads who were heavily involved in all that. Not going on the pitch, but in the sort of push the boundary and the boundary park alert system. You couldn't write it, honestly. They've been on Talksport, that kind of thing. They've argued with Jim White, managed to get a meeting with the chairman, this chairman that they despise. So the chairman said, yeah, okay, listen to the fans. We'll listen to the fans from now on. They're playing Leyton Orient away on Saturday. And they basically said only season card holders can go to the match, and you have to turn up at the ground and buy your ticket, and it's one per season card. And I'm like, I tweeted it tonight. That's Ian Dowie levels of own goal. And
just when you
the
want
irony,
the fans on side, just piss them all off.
Yeah.
They're
Unbelievable.
in big trouble. It's like going back in a time machine and looking at us.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is.
But even we weren't that much of an we weren't like open as an absolute clusterfuck that early. There was a lot of stuff kind of rumbling. But Oldham just seems to have gone full scale Mad Max just straight away.
Yeah, I kind of wish we had gone that open earlier than we did, because we sort of sleptwalked really as a fan base
for a long time
into non-league. At least they're making moves. Steve Shipman's a big part of it. Who we both know. Yeah, so. It's I do listen to it every week, and if you've got a spare sort of hour, definitely listen to it. Boundary Park Alert System is really interesting, and like you say, they're going. It's their dark days. They're living their dark days podcasts.
Yeah.
Really interesting. Back to County then. After the Yeovil match, we've got a long trip to Maidenhead on Tuesday, and then Halifax away on Saturday. Does that? I mean, I know the answer to this. I know what you're going to say. Does that make Saturday's must win?
I'd not say it must win. It should win. It must win in what way? What's the?
If we don't win, in my eyes, if we don't win on Saturday against Yeovil, we're more than capable of doing that. The pressure that it adds on to the manager and his players. It's a tough away trip to Maidenhead. If you win in your matches, if you say we'd played 5-1-3, drawn 2 to start with, going away to Maidenhead, you're going to be confident and you're going to expect to win. But with the record we've got, and if we don't win on Saturday, the amount of pressure for Tuesday, I think we could, and I don't want to sound negative here, but I think we could be in trouble. As in for form and for confidence.
I thought we were going to look a lot better at Boreham Wood than we did. I thought away from home we're going to look good there. It was going to be something, and it was just the same as the home games. But we need to win Saturday. Simple as, really, really do. Must win, I'd say.
Yeah. And there's several ways depending on the combination of results we get, that like next week's show could go. Next week's show could be very, very interesting.
Yeah. So say if it's a 0-0, in fact, if we would a 0-0 be worse than a 2-1 loss?
Yeah,
depends how we look. I think it depends. We have a right good goal and rough half seats, but it's still not good, is it?
If it was a 2-1 loss, maybe where like both teams have been going for it, and then there's been like a stroke of luck or a deflection or a penalty to get them the winner, then maybe you think. But yeah, another after other 0-0s as well. It's just a bit.
We're just boring, aren't we? At the minute, we're boring. We're solid. We're like Mike Tyson with bloody cushions on his hands. No one's going to knock us out, but we're not going to hurt anyone.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah. Episode title sorted.
And that was my goal. I thought I want to say something where it's named after something I've said.
Comment come in. I think this is aimed at me from Charlie. Obviously, not you, Tit. You get points for a 0-0. He's talking about me. Is a draw worse than a loss? Well, I'm not a tit, Charlie.
Wow.
It kind of stands really, because if you get another 0-0 and we play out the 0-0 and it's like we've done before, then we've not progressed. But if we like Ryan said, if we look open and we look attacking and we still lose because things are open at the back, is that slightly a positive? Take the points out of it.
We're talking performance-wise as opposed to anything else. That's kind of the main. Until the performance is improved, the results aren't going to. Until we start creating something, we're not going to start winning games.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's how what I think he's kind of scared of. Rusk is gambling to go forward and opening up something at the back, and it happened all last season while he was in charge. And it was kind of the reverse when Jim was in charge. You had that attacking football, but some of the mistakes they were making at the back, Jesus Christ. So it's just finding that balance. But yeah, cheers for the question, Charlie. Yeah, no worries, mate. So I think we've covered everything. Unless
what do you think about Crowsdale?
I like him. To me, he's my Crowsdale. To me, is my midfield ball winner. And I know we talked about this before, didn't we? He's not a defensive midfielder, but he is a ball. I think he's a ball winner.
I've come round to that way of thinking in recent weeks. I scoffed at you when you said
you did, yeah.
I'll be honest, but in recent weeks he's properly stepped it up. Because I thought second half of last season his performances dipped, and then I think the first game. Well, no one had a good game against Dagenham. Let's be honest.
No,
but I think otherwise he's playing in that position that a lot of football fans don't understand. I think.
What central midfield?
In terms of keeping things ticking over, you're not going to see anything flashy. He's not going to go on a run past 4 or 5 players and slot one in. He's not going to run down the wing, get to the byline, and put a cross in. But everything he does is controlled. He's going to keep hold of the ball for you. He's not going to go losing the ball.
No, but he is one of those ones that does tend to pass it to the side and backwards, which for me, that's what he's there to do. Like you say,
when you play a mainly possession-based system, then you need someone doing that.
Yeah, but when it goes into Rooney, and then we've kind of come full circle here in the conversation. When it comes to Rooney, you always, for me, I like early crosses and early balls, and that's how you open up teams. As soon as Rooney gets it, fantastic player, like you say, but Jesus Christ. Turn on it left.
Turn on it again. Look up.
Everything's gone by that time because teams are setting up to defend.
He's not the fastest, is he? I think we need a bit of pace and power there. I don't know.
I think Collar and Crowsdale are too similar.
Yeah,
one of them in the team, you sorted. I think they're pretty much on a par with each other. Well, Reikie's looked good since he came in, but to be pinning all our hopes on like a
lone player,
is not healthy in the slightest for us or him.
No, I noticed he's been starting, hasn't he? But been getting subbed off, and he said in his interview he's ready for 90 minutes. When I don't think he is ready for 90 minutes. No. And I personally think, he's had a couple of good games, but this step up to adult football, men's football.
You're right. Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
I think it's took it out of him a bit.
It's his first loan as well, isn't it? It's not like he's been a couple of levels lower before, and he's slowly stepping it up. This is his first learning, like you say, proper men's football.
Yeah.
It's going to take him time to.
Yeah.
You know,
He definitely
mathematics.
tires around the 70-minute mark, and obviously that's when he comes off. And
Yeah.
But with the options we've got, that's not a bad thing at all. That's not to our detriment that we've got. We can just change it up with half an hour, 20 minutes to go. We've got the options.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff. Right, got a few things to let you know about. So, Fan Hub, if you're on that, thank you very much. We've got over 300 fans on Fan Hub now, which is the third or fourth best in the app, which is really good. And obviously those
huge clubs there.
We are, and those clubs will get better obviously as we bring more on board. But as the Fan Hub app gets more on board, but county fans have really taken to it. And if you need a golden ticket, they're always available from people. And if you get one, please do share it. Let's get people in the app. Share your predictions.
Check in on a Saturday as well.
Yeah, check in on a Saturday,
Even
Ryan.
if you're
Don't
not
forget
at the game.
I forgot Boreham Wood. I was gutted.
You can do it if you're not at the game as well. You don't get as many points, but if you're listening,
do you not?
watching,
All right. I think does it not check your location?
if you're there, there's two options: one to check in at the ground and one to check in remotely.
I remembered on the coach on the way back. It was.
I need to go back.
Yeah, too late. Yeah, so what it does, like Nick said, it checks if you check in remotely at home because you set your home location. It knows that you've not travelled anywhere, so you'll still get points for checking in, but nowhere near as many as someone who's travelled. Yeah, absolutely. And we will publish the tables as the season goes on, and I might even try and get a prize, something nice for the person that finishes top of the leaderboard at the end of the season. I have to try and sort something out for that. So cheers for that. Keep on sharing your predictions. And can I just say, I got flagged off before about a prediction that I made when I was testing the app. Yeah, well, all the players weren't available, and that's what I was testing. I was testing it and then putting the players in and things. So it was before it all came live. So I'm getting a bit of hard time for that. So yeah. Anyway,
you're trying your best, though, mate.
I know.
That's all anyone can ask. I think it's fun. I think you've done a fantastic job with Fan Hub. I think it's really good. It was a cool app anyway, and then all the stuff that's been added. Let's not forget you pushed for them to add that. People don't know that, but they do now.
They do now.
They're throwing parades for us.
Well, it was us and two Notts County lads. So yeah, and when we play Notts County, we'll get them on the pod and things, and we'll share a pod with them. Some more exciting news. We've got a blog going. Got a new blog.
Words and stuff. Yeah.
With words in order. So we've got a new site for that. Again, available in the Fan Hub app if you want it. And we've got Alex Ross, Ant Shearer, and Adam Sundell all blogging for us. Hopefully on a monthly basis. I did read the blogs. Alex Ross's is out at the moment, and it's about it's good. It's what am I doing here? And it's a question we've probably all asked ourselves when we've been supporting County. What it starts off with, what the fuck am I doing here? So give that a read. It's in the app, and there's links and things in from Twitter. I pre-read Ant Sherat's actually, and I'm not not afraid to admit that I was nearly crying because it was so good.
Oh, it's not that bad. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good. So yeah, that'll be coming up soon. So have a read of that. And I've got to mention as well, there's a programme and memorabilia fair, Stockport programme and memorabilia fair on Sunday at Edgeley Park. Been asked to plug that. 10 till 1, £1 to get in, but if you're under 16, it's free.
That's me having a shave then.
Save
yourself
a quid.
Yeah. And then I can spend that quid on a programme or some delightful memorabilia.
Yeah. So.
Or pocket the quid. Go home. I'm up.
Yeah. Put it on lottery.
I'm not up. I broke even. No, you can't get a lottery ticket for a quid now. It's gone up.
Oh, it's not a quid anymore, is it?
You have to win the lottery to be able to afford to play the lottery now.
Before we go, one last question. I've been wondering this since we've been kids, really. I'll tell you, Ryan. Is it
5'11".
no, you're
-5.
Yeah, you're getting a bit of abuse now in the comments, so we'll
Makes a
That's
change from us getting it.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
well, I've had it tonight as well, so I'm not really asked. Right, brilliant. How have you found your first pod, Ryan? Good.
Yeah, it's been good, mate. I've enjoyed it.
I say
It's been good.
first.
Glad it's over.
Glad it's over. I was going to say.
No, as regards like the nerves, I'm glad got through it and actually done it.
Right, good stuff. Good. It's been a pleasure having you on. How have you found it, Nick?
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I've missed 25 minutes. Oh, no, I've enjoyed Ryan. You've been all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Very much enjoyed Ryan. It's freshened it up a bit, and you've been a steady presence, like the Queen.
Yeah.
Just
So
there.
I've been Simon Rusk's form, have I? Kind of like there.
Yeah. You're a safe pair of hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd lend you power tools if I had any. I was allowed to own any, or knew where to get some.
Okay. Why? Because you know you get them back.
You're trustworthy. Yeah. You're
Oh
good,
right. Okay. Right.
Good,
Yeah.
solid chicken tikka masala, penis in the vagina kind of bloke. Just straight up, no messing. What you see, is what you get. Can you wrap it up so I don't have to carry on with this? It's going to get
Man's
worse.
man. Right, I'm going to wrap it up now. Stop talking. Right. Cheers, Ryan, for coming on.
Cheers,
no
Ryan.
worries, mate.
A pleasure. And cheers everybody for watching and listening and stuff like that. Bye now.